90% of enterprise leaders increasing AI spending in 2026. AI literacy job listings surged 70% year over year. Professionals with multiple AI competencies earn 43% more. This is the one that ties the whole week together. Welcome back to Career Optional. Monday, I talked about what irreplaceable actually means. Tuesday was systems thinking, seeing how work really flows. Wednesday was automation architecture, building solutions instead of writing process documents. And today is the third skill, and it's the one most people get wrong. AI as a thinking partner. Now, I need to be upfront about something. Most of the content you see about AI falls into two camps. Camp 1, AI is going to take your job. Panic now. Camp 2, AI is just a tool. Use it to write emails faster. Both are wrong, and both are lazy, especially if you don't edit your work. Here's what's actually happening. Nearly 9 in 10 enterprise leaders say they're increasing AI spending this year. Job listings requiring some level of AI literacy have surged dramatically over the past year. And research shows that professionals with multiple AI competencies earn significantly more than their peers. We're talking about 30 to 40% premiums in some roles. But AI literacy doesn't mean what most people think it means. It doesn't mean knowing how transformers work. It doesn't mean being able to explain attention mechanisms. It means 3 things. 1, knowing what AI is good at and what it's terrible at. 2, being able to articulate a problem clearly enough that AI can help you think through it. And 3, knowing how to evaluate AI output critically because it sounds confident even when it's completely wrong. Now that third one is the skill most people skip, and it's the most important. Let me show you the difference between using AI as a secretary and using it as a thinking partner. Secretary mode looks like this. You open ChatGPT or Claude, you type, write me a sprint retrospective summary. You get back 3 paragraphs of generic agile language. You copy it into Confluence, you move on, you save 15 minutes. Congratulations. You also produced something that any intern could have written and that AI could have produced for anyone. You added 0 unique value. Thinking partner mode looks something like this. You open Claude, you say, I'm running a retrospective for a team that's missed their sprint commitment 3 sprints in a row. The main pattern I'm seeing is that stories get blocked mid-sprint by dependencies on another team that aren't identified during planning. Here's the data from our last 3 sprints. That's the key. And then you paste in the actual data, the cycle times, the blocker logs, those sprint reports. Now AI has context, and it can do something useful. It can identify patterns you might have missed. It can suggest questions to ask in the retro that you haven't considered, and it can help you design an experiment to test whether a specific process change would reduce that dependency bottleneck. That's a fundamentally different interaction. You brought the context, the organizational knowledge, the delivery history, the judgment about what matters. AI brought the pattern recognition, speed, and better questions. Together, you solved a problem neither could have solved alone. And this is where the career premium lives. Not in knowing how to prompt, in knowing what to prompt about. Let me give you another example. For one client, I was preparing for a quarterly planning session. We had 18 teams, a backlog of strategic initiatives, and limited capacity. The typical approach is to throw everything into a spreadsheet, let directors argue for 2 hours, and walk out with a plan that changes in week 3. Instead, I fed Claude the initiative list, the team capacity data, the dependency map, and the historical delivery rates. I asked it to identify the highest risk dependencies, flag capacity conflicts, and suggest 3 different sequencing options with trade-offs for each. Did I use it as output verbatim? No. Some of the assumptions were wrong because AI doesn't know political dynamics, like which director is going to push back, which team is about to lose a key engineer, which initiative has an executive sponsor who won't accept the delay. That's my context. That's the human judgment layer. But AI gave me a starting point that would have taken me a full day to build manually. I spent 2 hours refining it instead of 8 hours creating it from scratch. And the output was better because AI caught 2 dependency conflicts I'd missed. That's the thinking partner model. You're not outsourcing your work to AI. You're amplifying your judgment with AI's ability to process information at scale. Here's what I want you to take away from this. The people who will thrive in the next 5 years are not the ones who use AI the most. They're the ones who use it the best. And using it the best means understanding what you uniquely bring which is context, judgment, relationships, organizational knowledge, and what AI uniquely brings, which is speed, pattern recognition, and the ability to process more information than you can hold in your head. The combination is what makes you irreplaceable. Not AI alone, not you alone, the combination. So here's your homework. Next time you sit down to use AI for a work task, stop before you type. Ask yourself, am I about to use this as a secretary or as a thinking partner? Am I giving it generic instructions, or am I giving it real context from my actual work? Am I going to copy the output, or am I going to challenge it with what I know? That shift from secretary to thinking partner is the single highest leverage change you can make in how you work with AI. Tomorrow is Friday, my human take on the week, just me and a few key points. Subscribe wherever you're listening. Visit careeroptional.ai. And if these 3 skills resonate with you, the Agile AI Prompt Playbook at agiletactics.ai/blueprint gives you 5 conversation starters to practice thinking partner mode with your real data. I'm Danny Liu. This is Career Optional. See you next time.